Look, I could be gone by the morning, so I'm keeping it on me. She says she don't love nobody. I told her I was heartless.
Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to do stock side cover to valve cover venting. Now, some important things. I'm going to go over parts you need. It's going to be super in depth for beginners if this is your first time doing this. So it's going to be super in depth, and I'll explain why you would want to do it and what tools you'll need. So this is a Hemi, and it would be better if you got it straight out of the factory and you could take your gasket out. Mine comes out almost all the way, but I don't want to risk the end. So if you can do that, try that. If it's just not coming out, it's fine. You're going to want to go down to the block. You can leave the piston in. I took it out because I'm getting a different one, but because you're going to get metal shavings. I use this block because I don't need it anymore. So and then, so the point of this, it's going to go 2 lines to your valve cover, and you're going to need this. It's just if you keep the baffle in. So the baffle I'll show you on a valve cover, but first I'll start with the side cover. But the baffle is basically what's stopping the oil from coming out of that little galley in your engine. So if you keep the baffle in, it's not really doing anything except just re-oiling your whole engine. I mean, if you want to do that, like that's what I do, is kind of just for looks. But if on my personal engines, I remove the baffle and run 2 lines to a catch can. Okay. So for parts you're gonna need some barbs. I get usually a pack of 12. You're gonna need obviously your side cover. You're gonna need the bolts. You're gonna need a drill with 3/8 drill bit, and I use a spring-loaded punch. You don't need that, and I use a Sharpie. You don't need that, but I'll show you why in just a second. That's basically what it is. The 1/4 fuel line that goes on here, ID. So, okay, let's start. So what I first do is, when you look inside this right here, you're gonna see this. You want both of these barbs to come as close to each side as possible. So to the center as possible. So you're gonna want one. You don't want it all the way because it's just gonna kind of look weird. But you want one near around here, one around here. It's probably gonna be bad if you go through the middle. So try to avoid that. So it doesn't need to be perfectly close, but just try to get as close as you should. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and draw where I'm gonna make my holes. So I'm gonna get. I'm gonna look for a second. I see about right here. Oh, and one more thing to remember. If you have a gas tank that you're running, you're gonna want to bend them. So you're gonna want to put 2 going like they're gonna look like this. So they're not gonna look like this. They're gonna look like this. So I'll try to probably put 1 point right here, and then 1 more right here. Yep. So once you do that, I usually get it on there. That's just a little like of how close it should be. Then you're going to want to take your punch, spring-loaded punch from Harbor Freight. You just want to make sure it's there. So I got it a little wrong with the Sharpie, but so this is where my center is going to be. It's going to be around right over here. And then for this, that might have actually been too close, so I'm gonna do it right here. Around right here, yeah. And then this one, I'm gonna try to do it right on here. Okay, so now that I know that I'm doing this one and this dot, you probably can't see it, but so I have my guides there for me. And yeah, okay, so now what you can do is you can put your side cover on. So that's really all you need. You only really need two. So next step is you're gonna wanna take this off. I'm gonna start with a smaller on the small. This is also from Harbor Freight. So I start with the smaller end of drill bits. Oh. So I start around here. Right. I'll just do this, and then I start drilling. And then, what I usually do, I just take these out, and I check on them to make sure everything is all lined up. If it's not, I don't know what you're gonna do, because it's kind of just like, you have to hope for the best, you know? So, it looks like, let me show you. It looks like the holes are just fine. They don't have to be perfect, but they're far enough from that middle piece. So they will do. Now, I don't have to open the side cover again. I just have to do the final stuff. So let me put these things back on. And then the other one. And then you can start your real drawing. So I'm basically going to step up. I'm going to cut and go into the next clip. But what I'm basically doing, because I don't want to make you watch the 10 minutes of me doing that, is I'm taking each bit, not going up one step, going up by 3. So my next one's going to be around right here, 7/32. Then I'm going to go to the 1/4, and then I'm going to go 1 by 1, 5/16 and 3/8. Make sure you keep them at a little bit of an angle. And once angle going down this way, like this, and then once we're done, I'll be back. The 2 holes are done. I did it almost down, just at a little angle, and it looks to be almost perfect. So you're going to want to take 2 barbs, and I forgot to mention 2 important tools. So you're going to want to need this, and you're going to need some JB Weld. You can just search up JB Weld Steel Stick Epoxy. So you can just take your barb. Sometimes it doesn't thread in, right? So you're going to want to just find the perfect point. Trust me, sometimes it takes a long time. I think I've got almost perfect on this one. That it's threading in itself. And you just want to take the thing, thread it the rest of the way. And you want to put some pressure on it so it continues to go down. But that's basically it. And you should be good. Now I hope everything is good. Now you don't want to thread it completely down. You want to leave about 3 or 4 threads sticking out. It should be feeling tight when you're at the getting near the 3 or 4 threads. So I will check on it. So I'll probably twist it in 4 more times, I think. This one. Oh, one more thing. So that was off camera that I did. I cleaned the side cover. I didn't clean the block yet. I just cleaned where the barbs are gonna be, and then at the end of it, I'll just take a ear pick and just clean the rest. So the side cover is basically all good. They're not nice and tight. Everything's good. There's a few threads left. That's what you need. And they're almost the same. Almost the same, right? So that was the hard part, I would say. Just getting these in is one of the hardest parts. So now I'm gonna take some of my steel stick, just about this much. Just nicely, I don't know, what is this called? Just like push it with your fingers. But you do this. Kind of want a clean surface. I should have mentioned that, but. Alright, so you just keep on. You're gonna feel it getting a little bit warm. You want to do this a lot, right? And in about 45 seconds, you're gonna feel it getting really, not really warm, but you're gonna feel some warmth in it. That's when you know it's ready to be put. Okay, so I'm starting to feel the warmth now. So I'm gonna put it like this type of shape, and just put it around one of them like this. Right? Push it into the thing. This is just so oil doesn't leak and the barbs will stay nice and firm on here. Alright. Just keep on doing this for about a minute. It should set fine. Okay. It's all set. It should be all set. Now, I have a little bit of this barb piece sticking out. So what I usually do is I put more JB weld just to cover it. I don't know why, but I just kind of like having the JB weld fully around it. So I'm gonna take a really small piece, this much. Just keep on doing this and just get ready to put it on that. This might have been a little bit too small. Let me take some more of it. Okay, so that's all done. Just gonna kind of like push it down on here until it's nice and smooth. Basically just using Play-Doh, but alright, so it's all good. This one's all done. Now you're going to want to do the same exact process to the other one. And then I'll get back to you guys for the venting. So the next thing I'm going to do, I just got these done, you can see. Next thing I'm going to do I have this 5 feet of this yellow hose line, 1/4. So I'm going to take both of the ends, put them on each, all the way down. It should stick nice and tight. Now I drilled my hand open, so okay. So those are both in, and now it's ready for the valve cover. But that's part 2, and thanks for watching on how to vent the side cover. Part 2, how to vent your Hemi valve cover. And you're gonna notice that it has this centerpiece. So first time I did it through that, and I had some problems. So I'm gonna say you try to put 2 to the side of it. That's your really best option. And remember, once you pass this centerpiece, you're in spark plug territory. So stay on the side that's not that. You just want to take your punch and mark two holes. Now you're going to want to repeat that exact process in part 1. That JB welding, barb fitting, every single thing. And once you're done, I'll continue the video. So the way I think about the venting lines, like, you're going to run them crossed or whatever you want. But I just run them like this. And the way I think about it is the closest one on each side is what goes together. The furthest one is what goes together. And then I kind of like pull them out to the same length, set them, right? And then just make sure they're almost even. Yep. And then I grab the ends, take just a normal pair of scissors, just chop.
That should be all good. Hopefully I did that right. Okay, that works. Oh, we're stuck under here. That's why I was making it tip over. Ah, okay.
Yeah. Alright, well, as you can see, finished venting. Now, I don't know how the other colors look, but I've mainly gone with yellow for vents and blue for any pulse pump fittings, you know, gas lines into the pulse. So, my next video will probably be on how to, on the non-Hemi, how to set up the 2 oil catch can lines, or it will be on the Mikuni manifold, how to set up a pulse. That'll be the next video, and thanks for watching.